Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today as we continue the conversation on steps that we need to take to develop concrete goals so we can put that plan into action for 2021. So before we get started, I wanted to do just a little recap from last time we met, and we were talking about the gathering process, information and reflection that is necessary for you to take in order to develop those concrete goals. So you will know that with those concrete goals, as you're building and creating them, that they will allow you to make those action steps so you can be effective and see your goals and your plan come to pass in 2021. So let's go ahead and get started. So I wanted to first recap on some of the components that we spoke about last time we met, and we were talking about the gathering process. So the first one I wanted to recap, and just these are key points. If you believe that you would like more help or information or support, please feel free to look at our replay either on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, or on YouTube, and also on LinkedIn. If you still believe you need further support, we are here to walk alongside you. Please feel free to contact me, Andrea C. Scott, founder and CEO of ABC Educational Services. You can contact me at 720-427-8901 or ABC Education Services at gmail.com. All right, so let's get started. Let's talk about these key points from the last time that we spoke, and then we'll go ahead and look at those for today. All right, so our first key point that we talked about was connecting with your personal vision and mission statement. This is so critical. If you do not have your personal vision and mission statement in place, please take the time to write and reflect what you believe rings true for you. Now remember, this is your personal vision and mission statement. You can share this personal vision and mission statement with others if you so feel the need to, but the main purpose is for you to have this as a place of reflection for you, because everything else will center around your personal vision and mission statement. So I wanted to just share with you today what mine is, just so you can get an idea. It can be as either long or as short as you want it to be. So here is my personal vision and mission statement. Teach others how to live a victorious lifestyle through the love of Christ by applying principles, practices, and supports they can use every day and in their area of industry. So that's my personal vision and mission statement. For me, I believe that it's so important as you are working through the year, whatever goal that you have in place, whether it's launching that business, going back to school, working on a project, it's so important that you know what your personal vision and mission statement is. If you notice as you continue to work and move, once you have that developed, you'll see how you already have a lot of things in place in your life that already connect to your personal vision and mission statement. Your personal vision and mission statement should trickle and interconnect with everything that you develop. Let me say that again. Your personal vision and mission statement should connect with everything you develop and build. That's including your goals, that's including your vision, whatever it may be, like your vision for your business, or for your project, for your nonprofit. Even in your personal development, it should always go back to what you believe your personal vision and mission statement is. Now, Is it possible for you to change or adjust your personal vision and mission statement? Absolutely. We know that we all evolve, and as we evolve and change for the better, there may be areas that may ring a little more true to you than maybe it did in the past. So it is okay to adjust your personal vision and mission statement. I highly recommend, though, as you're adjusting, to try to keep a target point, though we don't want to adjust too many times, especially as we are working and building. So, the second thing that we talked about last time was the roles. Remembering, what roles do I have that require my time? This is so important because before we begin to develop your goals, it's so important to know what you already have in place that's already requiring your time. So when we will begin to work in our planner, which hopefully we should be doing that within the next 2 to 3 weeks, planning and organizing, you will be developing and writing those action steps in your planner according to the roles that you have. So, key point, this is important, key point, that your balance leads to abundance. Balance leads to abundance. So know that while you are evaluating and identifying the roles that you play, know that your balance in your life will lead to your abundance. So let me just share something with you. As I mentioned last time, some of the information that I will be giving you will be coming from the book First Things First by Stephen Covey. And this is also something that he talked about in the importance of the roles that you play and how it leads to abundance. So just wanted to share this with you. When we see a deep connection between the roles in our life and incredible opportunity for synergy, that means cooperation, things cooperating together better than they did apart, it creates an abundance mentality. So we're wanting to, the whole purpose of identifying your roles and what you have is to create that synergy in your life where you'll have and establish your balance, which will lead to abundance, which means that we know that time is limited, but we are not. And as we identify our roles, the roles that we have, and seek balance in our lives, we will see that we will have more time to do those things that are a priority for us. So that was something that we spoke about last time. And finally, for our ideas list, make sure that you have a working ideas list. And this ideas list, I don't know about you, I have several different places where I write some of my ideas. One of them is in my journal. I also have a spiral notebook that I write my ideas, and I do use my phone and some other technological devices to place my idea list. But I have actually, I'm just sharing with you a little bit about how I think, but I actually have a place where I place all of the ideas. So I pull all of my ideas from other places, and I have one working idea list that I look at to seek for different goals that I'm thinking about or considering in my life, and we'll talk a little more about that in a minute. So we talked a little bit about the idea list and what you should have on your idea list. If you have not begun creating your idea list, I highly, strongly recommend you to do that. I'm telling you, so much information can come from you creating and working from these ideas. So many goals, so many projects, so many tasks, so many things can come from this idea list. Okay, and what should be on your idea list? And this is not limited, just some suggestions that I have in place for you. So the first thing is, what can you see yourself doing? Are there areas in your life that you would like to improve? What qualities and attributes do you believe you currently have? So if you believe you're a good writer, if you believe you're a good cook, that you paint, that you're a good organizer, that you're good with your hands, you are able to create and make things. What are those things that you believe, those qualities and attributes you believe that you currently have? Okay, so one of the things also on this idea list, for those of you who already have these ideas in place, you already have set your goals, you already have your plan of action in 2021, this would be a great idea, the great opportunity for you to just kind of look and reflect over what you already have written down, what you have established, and see if what you've established already connects with where you're going. If you see that it's kind of not connecting to where you're going, go ahead and abandon that. We talked a little bit about that last time, to abandon ideas. And what does that mean? Abandoning ideas, it basically means doing away with those things that no longer fit for our lives. So does that mean that the idea is bad? Absolutely not. But that does mean that as you've evolved and you've grown, that means that it no longer is connected to your personal vision and mission statement. Because remember, we're wanting to do those things that are connected to our personal vision and mission statement. Those are those things that build relevance for us and meaning for us in our life. So I just wanted to give you a short little recap of what we spoke about last time so we can go ahead and get started for today. So for today, I hope you have something that you can write with, have something you can write your notes down. If you don't have your computer, go ahead and open that Microsoft Word doc, create a new folder if you have not already created that yet. You can always go, I know as I had mentioned before, I use this regularly. You can always go into Google. If you have a Gmail, go into your Google Docs and start creating your own checklist for yourself as you listen to the gathering process today. And as I said before, if you miss some, or if you want to reflect or review, please feel free to listen and see our replays. So hopefully you're ready to go. So let's go ahead and get started today. Now, I know that I've been talking about your ideal list. So today, I would like for you to select some ideas from your idea list. Now, how many you decide, that's up to you. But at least I would encourage you to pick at least 2 ideas off your idea list. These you are going to use to create your goals. Okay, as I had shared with you before, we are going to go step by step, so you'll know how you can go ahead and create your goals based on the information that you already have, which I think that's so important to know, that you have everything that you need to be successful. So go ahead and choose at least, I would say at least 2 ideas, depending on how much time you believe and your roles do play a part in this. Some of the other things do play a part, but at least try to pick at least 2 ideas from your idea list that you want to create a goal. So I wanted to give you an example, and I'm using myself as an example. So I hope that it's helping you just to kind of get an idea of how you can create this into a goal. So the first one I wanted to talk about, one of the things that we shared as far as ideas, it's so important that on your idea list, I listed some of the elements on, things that you can write as far as ideas. And one of the examples that I wanted to use, which I think is important, like, what do you believe is important for you? Or what do you see yourself doing? So here's my example. I think it's important to share my story to others. It helps me heal and it encourages someone else. So that's one of the things that I have on my idea list that I think is so important, that we can share our story. We all have a story to tell, and I really believe that it's important that you can use your story. Not only does your story help heal yourself, but it also helps someone else. So within that idea, I have my goal, which I am actually working on right now as we speak. So my goal is to write a motivational book sharing my testimony, or sharing some testimonies that I believe that are important. So there'll be more to come on that. I'll be excited to share with you what that looks like in my process. So that's just an idea of how you can use one of your ideas that you put on your idea list and create it into a goal. So, and once you've established that, our second thing is to look at your barriers, which this is so important. So important to consider all of these elements, all these components as you're creating your goals. Because one of the things we want to try to stay, especially as we're creating our goals and putting our plan into action, we want to try to stay as joyous and positive, optimistic as possible. So this whole preparation process, this gathering process, is designed to help you at least those things that we foresee. Right? Then we know that there's some things that may happen that we did not anticipate, but at least to help eliminate some of the things that we may foresee as we are going forth working on our goals, putting those plans into action. All right, so barriers, time, and these are just some things to consider. Your barriers may look different than someone else depending on your goal, but just I wanted to give you some suggestions, some ideas to kind of think about. In the hopes that once we are finished, or as I'm speaking, you can go ahead and write those barriers that you believe might be in place that you will overcome as you are working towards putting your plan into action. All right, so time. What does your time look like? That can be a barrier. Do you have enough time to actually work out the goal that you are wanting to put into place and put it into action? Okay, so when that happens, you can look at one of the two things and say, hey, if this goal is really important to you, think about, how do I need to adjust or remove something else off of my plate? And it may just be temporary for a season, just so you can see you accomplish that goal. And it's so important because sometimes things are temporary and we're able to incorporate those back into our everyday life. For example, use myself all the time as an example. Years ago, as I was working towards my master's degree, at the time, which that was like over 20 years ago, but I remember it as if it was yesterday. Some of the things I did have to take off of my plate. During that time, I'm a single mother with 2 young children and teaching full time, doing some things in ministry, and trying to go back to school to complete my master's degree. So there were some things, some goals that I wanted to do, which was one, as I had shared with you as an example, wanted to write a book, but I knew that my plate was full, and for a season I had to take that off of my plate just until I was able to complete my degree. So there were some things in which, thank God, yay, He gave me the grace and ability to be able to complete it, and I'm thankful. But just wanted to give you an example that there are times when we have to take things off of our plate so we can have time to make sure that those goals are accomplished for us. So another barrier, people. There may be some barriers in your life. If there are people or relationships that you may see as barriers, take those in consideration and reflect. And these are just for reflection. Wanted to give you some ideas and consideration as barriers as you are looking towards accomplishing your goal. Finances. Do you have enough money, if that involves money and what you're trying to accomplish? Do you have enough money? If not, what avenue or what stream needs to be in place in order to make sure that I have what I need to accomplish my goal. For example, going back to school, the financial aid. Do I need to work towards getting my financial aid, or do I need to look towards other streams? Do I need to make some adjustments to possibly save money? In my budgeting to make sure that that goal comes into place. So finances also could possibly be a barrier. Remember, this is your journey. So you know what those barriers are in your life as you are reflecting upon the goal that you want to start building. So also transportation. What is it? Transportation? Is it too far? Will I have a commute? What kind of things will fall into place? And that also, is a barrier if you have family or other roles that you play. That transportation, and that travel is huge. So those are just some things to consider, the barriers as you are building your goal. So I hope, as I've been speaking, that you have selected some ideas off of your idea list that you want to create into goals, and possibly considering those barriers that you may look and see that may be in place or that you may experience. Remember, barriers are meant to be broken, okay? So don't let them intimidate you. Don't be discouraged. Know that you can overcome those barriers. Trust me when I tell you, you can overcome those barriers. Okay, so the second thing I wanted to talk about today, and we're actually here at ABC Educational Services, I want to do actually a series centered around your self-care. Actually establishing a self-care plan for yourself. And it's a little more than just, going to a retreat or taking a vacation on the beach. Self-care, I'm telling you, it's so important in you accomplishing your goal. So I want you to take an opportunity to think about what self-care do you need to have in place to make sure that your goal is accomplished. And you'll hear me talk a little more about that in the weeks ahead, because it's very important that you have that self-care in place. For example, just establishing those healthy boundaries. It may just be that you may need to establish some healthy boundaries for yourself as you are going towards your goal. Stress management. What do you have in place, or what do you believe you need to put in place for your stress management as you are accomplishing your goal? Because how many know we think clearer and we move clearer when we're calm, when we're peaceful, when we're not frustrated, or feeling overwhelmed. So we need to know, what do I need to have in place when I'm feeling those moments of overwhelm or frustration or disappointment, or I'm feeling stuck? If you believe that you would like to learn more about that before we actually do this series, please feel free to reach out to us. We're more than willing and welcome to have those conversations with you. So along those lines, know that you may need to look for other areas of support. It's so important when you are looking towards accomplishing that goal that you have those areas of support in place, or working towards getting them in place, because there will be, and we'll talk about that a little in the weeks ahead as we are writing things in our planner, organizing our planner, seeing where those support systems need to fall, because sometimes the support you might need as you start may not be the same support you need while you're in the middle of putting your plan into action. So we want to make sure that you take time to consider what kinds of support systems do you need. Those of you, who are mothers, do I need childcare? What kind of support do I need? Consider, what do you believe the support you might, want to have from your family, your friends, what your professional support might need to look like. Do you need a mentor or coach, someone to help you, an advisor? What external support systems do you believe you might need to have to accomplish your goal? Because remember, we are not an island. So we do need those places of support to help catapult us to where we're wanting to go in our lives. So make sure you're evaluating those support systems that you believe that you may need. Okay, so I hope that you got something today that was beneficial. I wanted to make sure that we got it all in this part 3. I know that I went a little fast today, but know that please feel free to replay if you need to go back and listen to the information that I gave you today. If you would like to schedule a free consultation and want to know more, if you want to talk one-on-one, please feel free. Don't hesitate to reach out to us. So, we have completed the gathering process. So now that we've dealt with every component, here's what I'm asking for you to do. Take the information that I've given you from today and from part 1 and from part 2. Reflect and see where you need to gather and collect that information, because our next step that we're going to be talking about, as I mentioned before, is creating action steps and organizing your planner. So I want us all to be ready to get started. I hope you're excited. I am so excited for you, and just so humbled to be able to walk alongside you and support you in this process. Remember, the world is anxiously awaiting to see that goal, that dream, that project come to pass. There is nothing that's impossible. You can do this. You matter. You are valuable. And I'm so excited to see how you close the deal in 2021. Take care, and I look forward to speaking with you soon. And our next step will be goal setting. So I'm so excited. Please share with a friend, someone that you know that you believe will benefit from this. And I will be speaking with you soon. Have a wonderful day.